Gutierrez. I'm going to be discussing about education reform in the United States. To begin with, I believe that education is, if not the most important attribute that anyone can possess. To put things in perspective, prior to the industrialized era, more than half the population was illiterate, and it only makes sense that in today's world, we should be taking full advantage of the educational resources that we have at our convenience rather than waste our lives away. I mean, after all, education opens up so many opportunities to whatever anyone wants to do in their lives. So 30 years ago, America was the leader in quantity and quality of high school diplomas. Today, our nation is ranked 18th out of 23 industrialized countries. That's why I believe that the government should substantially reform elementary and secondary education in the United States, and this is my proposed plan to make this happen. In my plan, I have 3 points, major points, starting with my first one. The government should increase the annual salary of all teachers in the United States. The United States spends a substantial amount of money on education, but teachers in the United States are still greatly underpaid compared to other countries around the world. To be exact, the government spends about $800 billion in education, and that's a lot of money. If we spend so much money on education, more than any other country in the world, why is our education system failing? That is a big question. According to the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, the United States comes a mere 23rd in the rankings compared to Spain, who is number 1 and pays its teachers the most out of all countries in the developed world. South Korea ranks 2nd in highest teacher pay, and these statistics immensely reflect student scores. For example, 93% of high school students in Korea graduate on time as compared to the United States, in which only 75% of students receive a diploma. I mean, if we are able to pay athletes millions of dollars to play a game just for entertainment, and pay billions of dollars for to fight a war that most people are against fighting to begin with, I mean, why can't we pay our teachers a decent amount of money to educate our children? Therefore, I believe that the more we pay our teachers, the more grateful they'll be to teach and inspire our students to do better in school and ultimately move on to a college or a 4-year university so they could better their lives. My second point, the government should demand better qualified and better trained teachers that will help resolve the problem of our failing school system. Teacher quality is one of the most significant factors related to the student achievement. The reason that the school system is failing is because people who go into teaching careers are not well prepared to teach, and therefore they go into a job undertrained and unqualified. There's a non-for-profit organization called Teach for America, in which many people are against because it's getting rid of experienced teachers that have been teaching for more than 20 years. They're teaching methods that work and that obviously should be working, and they're replacing them with inexperienced university graduates. Therefore, this is creating a major problem because according to DoSomething.org, an organization working for education reform, in the U.S., 14% of new teachers resign by the end of their first year, 33% leave within their first 3 years, and almost 50% leave by their 5th year. This is quite a disappointing statistic because if newer teachers are leaving within their first few years of teaching and more experienced teachers are being laid off, who's going to educate our children and young adults, Therefore, that's where the government should step in and either bring back those experienced teachers or better prepare these new teachers that are coming in, to be able to teach in a more efficient manner that will make, the students want to stay and, actually learn, or makes them want to stay longer and makes them want to teach more. So, I mean, it's a win-win situation for both. After all, children are our future, and if we keep, going down this road of declining education, who knows what the consequences will be. Which brings me to my third point. The government should make dropping out of high school illegal and set forth rules and regulations as well as incentives to help people graduate with at least a high school diploma. One of the biggest factors contributing to failing school system is that many people choose to drop out of high school, not necessarily because it's their fault or they just want to. It's because, they can't pay attention in class. It's because the major reason that people drop out is poverty. That's a whole nother problem that I'm not going to get into right now, and a whole nother solution for that. But for most jobs, people require at least a high school diploma, So the government should make dropping out of high school at least illegal and punishable by jails or fines to kind of scare people to, go into school. And this way people will be forced to learn the curriculum that is being taught to them and or face time in jail. And no one wants to go to jail and or pay fines for not reading a book or doing homework, thus ensuring that grades shall improve. And after this, like, people will retain more knowledge and they'll be able to kind of continue on through their education because they kind of been forced to learn. Besides going to jail for not going to school, the government should pay students, like pay them to go attend a class every day. That would be the greatest incentive that the government could possibly, put in schools. We could even go as far as paying students a little bit more for getting better grades, such as A's and B's. I mean, everyone loves money, so by paying them to go to school, they'll be willing to study as hard as they can just to get to pass these exams. Therefore, making dropping out illegal and paying students to go to school, our school systems might have a chance to compete with the rest of the world and at least rank in the top 5 once again. So these are my 3 points for education reform, and thank you very much.